And now, the general weather around Alaska.
First up here, the hazardous weather graphic. We've got a coastal flood watch out here for the Yukon Delta coast for tonight and through tomorrow, and a winter storm watch out here for the coastal flood watch for the Kuskokwim Delta coast there, Nunivak Island and that area into Kuskokwim Bay, and a winter storm watch out for the Yukon Delta until another couple hours here of a winter storm warning there for the Seward Peninsula and the Kobuk Valley. And then this winter storm warning here in the Koyukuk Valley, that's for late Thursday through Friday in that area there. And then there's a lot, this is the whole yellow area up here for the Arctic coast. And the western North Slope, that's a winter storm watch out for, again, late Thursday through Friday, or into Friday, for possible heavy snow and wind moving into the area there. Same thing here in the central interior. Winter storm watch there for possible heavy rain, snow, and wind. And there's a winter weather advisory out for the Susitna Valley for mixed precipitation, rain and snow in that area. And moving on here, we've got a high wind watch out for the eastern Aleutians for tomorrow and tomorrow evening from 4 a.m. until 10 p.m. Thursday. Marine areas here around the Fox Islands could see storm and hurricane force winds with looking at 40 to 60 mile per hour winds sustained with possible gusts to 80 miles an hour there for Akutan, Unalaska, Dutch Harbor, as well as Nikolsky. And looking at satellite imagery, had a front here kind of pushing into Canada in the Northwest Territories, dragging back to the southwest across the southern panhandle today. That's where the heaviest precipitation occurred, was down that area. Lighter amounts to the north, a lot of clouds and showers here over the North Gulf Coast into much of the interior, kind of breaking out a little bit back here. As the next system out here to the west brings more gusty wind and rain into the Pribilof Islands today. You had low pressure tracking northward here, bringing the gusty winds, which have since diminished here over the interior. Rainfall amounts not all that heavy with this system. And this one here tracking up toward the Pribilof Islands, and roll that through again, that tracking northeastward, and a big cloud mass with the next system already showing up there on the last few frames south of the Aleutians. On the chart today, here's low pressure back over the northwest Bering Sea in the front, right down across the Pribilof Islands, bringing winds gusting anywhere from 35 to 55 miles per hour here from, in fact, some case a little higher, around the eastern Aleutians to the Alaska Peninsula up to the Pribilof Island areas, with mixed precipitation pushing back into the southwest interior. Just rain down to the south there into the eastern Aleutians, and so a trough bringing some rain and snow eastward here across the northern Kuskokwim Valley down into the western Alaska Range, and light precipitation here of a mixed variety occurring again over south central Alaska, with areas of snow continuing from Norton Sound, actually the Seward Peninsula northeastward there to the Arctic coast. And pretty dry day over the east side today. And then this front down here brought about 1.5 inches of rain today to Ketchikan, while Klawock picked up about 1/2 inch of precipitation. Otherwise, a couple inches of snow fell at Kotzebue today, with some light snow at Nome as well. And for tonight, areas of snow continue here up over the north central interior on out to the Arctic coast through the Brooks Range. And some snow showers, rain and snow showers here, south central Alaska, mainly over the mountainous terrain there. Weak trough keeps it showery, kind of unsettled there, but winds will be light for the southeast coast. This front pushing inland brings gusty winds, gusty south winds, south to southwest winds anywhere from 20 to 45 miles an hour, and mixed precipitation again over the southwest interior, but nothing too heavy. And that front trails back into the warm front there with the next system here pretty strong. That's going to be increasing the winds and precipitation later tonight for the central and eastern Aleutians. And we'll see tomorrow that tracks northeastward there right toward the Pribilof Islands once again. And quite a gradient here, so look for gusts possibly to 80 miles an hour with likely severe turbulence here for the Alaska Peninsula and the eastern Aleutians into the Pribilof Island areas. Gusty winds Rain and snow coming in behind that warm front back into the southwest interior. North of the warm front, precipitation mostly falling in the form of snow or light snow here through this area across the Yukon River, right up to the southern slopes of the Brooks Range, but to the north there, dry for the Arctic coast and North Slope. Still some shower activity going on here for the North Gulf Coast as well as the Panhandle, but a lot less, and precipitation lighter. And then for the day on Friday, looks like a dry day there for the Panhandle as well as the eastern North Gulf Coast into the Copper River Basin. Upper Tanana Valley, 40-mile country, looking at a dry day. Otherwise, a widespread area of snow here in the interior areas. And then this warm front here, south to north flow once again with another system coming onto the map here, brings increasing rain once again to the Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, continuing to feed moisture up into south central Alaska. Better conditions back to the west there with lighter winds. And for the lows for tonight, 30s here, south central Alaska, just about everywhere. Upper 30s Kodiak Island, mid to upper 20s in the Kuskokwim Valley, as well as the Copper River Basin, and in the 30s for the southeast coast. Followed by highs tomorrow right around freezing there at Gulkana, Glen Ellen, those areas, Copper Center. Otherwise, 30s to lower 40s again, Bristol Bay, Kodiak, warmest, and lower to mid 40s over the southern southeast coast. Lows for, let's see, Friday morning, upper 20s there, Haines towards Skagway, but June right around 34, otherwise 30s basically, 41 for Sitka. And pretty mild there. Again, overnight low staying mild here in the 30s, still edging a little above freezing or remaining a little above freezing, especially now in the Kuskokwim Valley. Low of 40 for king salmon, followed by highs in the mid 30s, lower 40s here for the Kuskokwim Valley, mid 40s for king salmon, 45 for Homer, lower 40s here for south central Alaska for Friday afternoon. And up to the north here, coldest on the western Arctic coast, but not all that cold, about 5 to 10 below. Otherwise above zero there on the east side. Teens and 20s down to the south. Highs tomorrow, mid 30s all the way up toward Galena area there, and upper 30s down toward, let's see, Toledo, and 20s for the Fairbanks area. And right around zero for the central Arctic coast, upper 20s there for the St. Lawrence Island area, and lows in the mid-teens for the Yukon Flats area over toward Eagle, maybe down to 8 degrees for Northway and Tok. Lower 20s around the greater Fairbanks area over toward Tanana, with mid-30s farther to the west, and either side of zero for the Arctic coast. Mid-20s for the Friday afternoon highs there for the North Slope and Arctic coast. Some areas in the lower 30s for the eastern Arctic coast there. Mid to upper 30s, very mild in the interior coming up on Friday. Mid to upper 30s to near 40 there, 40 at Healy, back down toward northern Kuskokwim Valley. A little chillier out toward the Bering Strait, mostly in the 20s there. And out to the west, lows tonight in the 30s, up to upper 20s toward Shimia, followed by highs in the 30s. Lower 40s for the Alaska Peninsula and Fox Island areas. And then lows again, upper 20s for the Pribilofs, upper 20s now for the central Aleutians, and 30s for the Fox Islands, near 40 for the Alaska Peninsula, followed by highs in the lower 40s. Otherwise, kind of chilly here for the central Aleutians, and still pushing 40 for Unalaska.